first of all, thanks for doing this. So you saw the list that I was looking at the other day, and there's two more. There's two other people that have done websites very similar, and I've spoken to all you little by little, but this guy just happened to be in the Discord, and we were having a video call, and I was like, dude, you should just put it out, and he did, and it went pretty well. I think there's such a hunger for this stuff in the space. And I think the ranking, obviously his ranking, I didn't check them side by side. I think it's like slightly different than yours. And I think these are the types of tools that we need. My whole thing, what I'm trying to do with where we're going is like having more data, more stats, more other things to look at rather than where the space has been over the last, I guess we'll put it here for now, where the space has been since I've joined it. It's a lot of just narratives. And so when we do rankings or whatever, it's usually like, I like this guy more, so I'm going to find any excuse to put this guy first. And then I don't like this guy, so no matter what he does, he's not moving. And I just know as a former player, whenever I would see stuff like that when I played, I used to hate that. And so I know these guys are probably feeling the same way. So I think forcing people, the commentators, forcing, like obviously ABC crew does rankings, other people does rankings, forcing there to be like, at least start from a database, start from somewhere to where at least it's consistent, whatever values you use, whatever data set that you use, it should just be the same for all the players. So if your list focuses more on who you've played or head-to-head matchups, or another one is more on games played and whatever, then we can look at those lists and be like, I agree with games played more, or I agree with this. And I just think it makes the conversations so much better than the conversations that have been happening. So yeah, I know you followed my channel for a bit, but that's my main thing, is just like people that have good stuff to bring to the space. I want to highlight that as much as possible. I want to stay away from I heard that this person said this and this player said this about this person's mom. Like, and that's what most of these conversations are. So anyways,
what exactly, man.
Yeah.
Like my way of thinking was exactly the same. Like I joined the space just before Lance Stevenson and Michael Beasley came. And then I started, I'm following it since then, basically trying to be up to date with every game, everything. And then in the fall, I think they started talking about rankings, top 10 and everything. And I'm like, you're kidding me. Like there's not even a repository of the games, right? I tried to look at the history or anything, nothing's there. And I'm like we cannot base our ranking just
what we feel like.
And who has more Instagram likes, right? Because like this is and I see like there's so big potential in this space. Like especially we see that NBA rankings are dropping every year. Like people get disinterested in NBA, unfortunately. I like my background is I'm a mix of Michael Jordan fan and one. And like my heart is with the NBA, but to be honest, I'm not following for the last couple of years. I'm just not. I'm sorry, and all those people need something else. We love basketball, and 1v1 is the answer. And I'm like, we cannot be serious and don't have any rankings, any history,
stats, any of that stuff.
Yeah, like I'm a fan. I want to dig into the details. I'm a psycho fan probably because I did this crazy system, right? But I don't want even to go into details how much time I spent on it. Like, it's right. It's a wonderful journey. Yeah.
So do you want to? So what have you done? So you've got Hooperkings.com, and I've seen this. It was probably a couple months ago, but I was doing a lot of traveling, so I wasn't able to like really dive into this. But I did keep up with it, and your ranking correct me if I'm wrong, it's based off of like more of a chess style system.
Yeah. So Elo ranking, this idea came to me that we think how to rank players, how to rank different different players across different leagues, right? Maybe, and at least I expect the 1v1 space to grow globally. Like, I'm from Poland, I'm in Europe. Somehow the YouTube algorithm proposed the games to me, right? I'm now a Psycho fan, and there are probably more, like, take Philippines, right? It's like no brainer to expand to the Philippines next.
Yep.
Like there
And I think it
has so
is. I've started seeing a bunch
really,
of games on YouTube. Yeah.
yeah, but I think like the leagues, it's not real progression. There are undersized, like 1v1, especially the small card divisions. Like Philippines is the place, right? So we will have, I think, leagues across the globe. Now, how can
Yep.
you rank the people, right? So this problem was solved in chess by introducing Elo rankings. It's the guy, the mathematicians from, I don't know, I don't remember, 50s, 60s. Yeah, he proposed this. This is also based on wins, loses, what is the probability of you winning, then it's connected to the points you get, right?
So the higher your rank is, the less points you get for beating someone with a low rank.
Exactly.
Yep.
Then recently I moved a little bit to Glico 2, which is something a little bit more how to say it, more, maybe more difficult. Maybe it has this one parameter at least, like simplifying it to minimum. It has the parameter that says how are we sure that the ranking is correct.
Yeah.
This is the improvement from the Elo ranking.
Okay. So it's like advanced Elo
Yeah.
ranking. Okay. I'm just looking at
a
it
little
here.
bit advanced. I think the guy from how it's called, Swish Hoops or something like this. I think it's
Swift Hoops.
Swift. I'm sorry, Swift Hoops. I think as far as I looked at it, I didn't have much time. I'm sorry, but as far as I looked at it, it's probably some different implementation of it, or a little bit or something very similar to it. But then of course
Well,
you have a lot of
I
other
think
stuff.
his is like manually entering the parameters. So I think it's less based on. I think I think it probably works on a smaller scale. So with the one-on-one scene with the three big platforms, it's probably easier to tweak and use manual kind of tweaking of the data because it's a smaller scale. But what I'm looking at on yours, and the reason I liked it and why I wanted to spend more time actually having a conversation with you before saying what I thought about it, was this looks like it can work like what you were saying earlier, but like globally. So like people that aren't in the top 50, top 60, it's like that's one ranking. That's fine. This can account for that. But it looks like this can also account for players that just play one game against a random person. This will provide some sort of like, we don't know where this person goes, so we'll put a placeholder here. Then if they play someone who also has a placeholder, then it can kind of start figuring out where all those players go. Is that kind of right?
I would say not. So we have to talk about two things. So one thing is the mechanism, right? So Elo,
Okay.
Glico, or whatever you think about. The other thing is the parameters. So it's not that I'm taking the Elo ranking or the Glico 2 ranking system, and I just apply it and it works. There's crazy lot of parameters I can put, and I can adjust it. And it's the smallest problem. Trust me,
Yeah.
I can dig into it in a minute. But it's I would say it. I in my if the guy did it did it in a similar way, it doesn't really matter what set of games you work on. I would say.
You could still apply that across a large scale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
say, but you can run into problems like I did. I don't know if we want to go into it right now, but the problems is like, for example, the only buckets leak, right? I love the
Smaller
people.
platform.
It's
Yeah.
smaller platform. I'm not. I don't want to put any shade on or anybody, but yeah, probably a little bit
Less
weaker
weight.
competition.
Yep.
I hope they forgive me, but I'm sorry.
Well, yeah,
Probably
it's not
a bit,
Baller's Life.
right?
It's not TNC.
Exactly.
It's not. Yep.
And but if I just put the guy, if I just ran it through all the leagues, then the guy, I think Victor, it
Yep.
lands on top 3, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. Kudos to you. I think you deserve the shot in the
You don't have
bigger
Victor
league
in your top
because you.
5?
But yeah, he's winning most of the games in his league, right? So he
Yep.
probably deserves a shot in Bolis Life or whatever. But
Yep.
but he's probably not considered top 5. And you see the guy from I keep forgetting the name of the platform, Swish Hoops, right?
Swift Hoops.
Swift Hoops. Sorry. You see, like left hand Dom is above. Who was it? LP. Yeah. Do I remember
No.
correctly? Or
I've got it
who
here.
was he above?
Yeah, he's one above LP.
Yeah, like I respect left hand Tom, and he bought my heart with a couple games. Really good job, man. You're the man, but I'm sorry. You everybody agrees that he's not above LP, right? And
Yeah, well,
yeah,
but
these
I
are the
think there's,
problems.
Rob and Bruce, I think as well. Rob is
Exactly.
one
Yeah.
or Bruce is one ahead of Rob on here as well.
So there's so I
So
spent hours.
how do you account for that? How is yours different?
I spent hours trying to adjust the parameters so that
To where the
there's
ranking kind of went more to where you thought it should be?
kind of. But
Okay.
I'm leaning right now to something else because I realized after like it's been 3 months that we have too little games. Like because when I started, I was assuming we will be growing, the most games will be played, and that we
Yep.
will have like each player will have at least like 20 games a year. But we're seeing it's not happening, and I can't blame anybody for this. It's okay. Like TNC has their own like business model. OTD, Ball is Life, everybody has their own business model. Some want to gain attention first before making a big game, right?
Yep.
And I understand it that Rob Collon, he plays like a couple games a year. Like
I
it's,
think 5.
they want to hype it, they want to sell it. We can't like be mad about this. And then how can I measure the data, right? Because
Yeah.
how can I compare him to Zay, who plays like
He's got
30 games a year?
double
I don't know.
the games, yeah.
Yeah. It's so I'm leaning to the model. I read an article. I think it was UFC. So they have the stats, but they do the power rankings, right? So so for example, can I share? Maybe.
I think so, yeah. Try to.
Okay. Okay. So So in my opinion, so we have Glico, Elo, winning percentage in 30-point games. So if I would do the top 10, because actually, let's be honest, this top 10 is just a marketing thing. This is
Yeah.
like the side effect of the whole
Help
system, right?
predict
And
matchups and it's
exactly. It's like I prefer this page, to be honest, when I can go into more details and see all the history or how the rankings changed and things like that. But going back, or yeah, you probably more even like this one, right?
yeah, I like that. Keep that page. Put that on the front, actually.
Okay. Anyway, but top 10 is like the side effect. But I'm leaning into the model that that you see. I took it from Amelis, I think. Yeah, I'm sorry if I pronounced the name bad. From ABC.
Yeah, A
Austin Mills.
Mills.
Yeah. So on one of his lives, he said, "Well, the rankings should cancel, should restart every year, maybe,
I've heard
and
that
it's
argument
not
a lot.
fair." Yeah. So if I would be you or whatever the commentator is, I would take the last year, like, right, and see. Actually, it's even better to see on this page. I think last year you see you have the difference that you
How much they moved in that year.
how much you moved, right, that in that year. Then you have from last 6 months, and you can like think of which player is valued more. Let's get the Elo, for example, right? And then you can see the like 30-point games, winning percentage, right? And then based on this data, you can do the power rankings, let's say every month, and see who's progressing, who maybe doesn't have good games, things like that, right? And then it's mixed. It's based on some data, it's based on some of your opinion, but it's not like we're getting into the call and we're speaking. Oh, this guy had this game or that game. Oh, I forget about it that this guy won with this man, right? And
Yep.
you open the page, you have the list, you tell me what you need, I'll implement it. I'm the software developer. This is my superpower, not basketball, unfortunately. I can do whatever, right? Just tell me what you need, I'll do it. And yeah,
So
and we
when
can
I
meet.
when I look at this, though, the first thing that does pop out to me is the fact that Vic is on this list, and I've not seen him on any other lists. And when I'm looking at this, this actually seems like a very good tool to find like who does need to play, like who does OTD, TNC, Ball is Life, who do they need to reach out to next to get them a game?
Exactly.
And it's a very valid way to just see like, oh, this guy's won some games, but why is he not actually ranked in the top 10? It's like, let's give him a shot at playing on the platform. I like this for that. What's the challenge? Is it just inputting all the games? Because obviously I see here like there's a lot of games that haven't been put in. Is that just going to be the challenge? Is getting caught up with the games and keeping them going?
Okay. Okay, so I'll start with some little history why I decided to do it. So I'm a software developer, 10 plus experience. I work for a bunch of companies. Right now I'm working for American company Deltec. We're doing the nice software for marketing agencies like Workbook, and I'm working with AI like every day. since it happened, I'm using it, and I see a lot of stuff being done with the with corrupted data, let's say. So even I started the Hooperkings, the early prototyped versions that I, of course, never published. I, of course, tried to generate the data from AI, and it at first look they seem correct, but then you dig into details, and nothing matches. Like it's wrong, right? And I was afraid when I was doing this, or having the idea of it, that there will be bunch of guys doing the. I could do a page similar to this in probably on this call. It's that fast. If you know
Yeah.
what you're doing, it's crazy fast, and you can generate all those data from AI, and it looks believable, but it's not when you dig into details. And my worry was that there will be a bunch of guys that will gain a lot of interest generating the data from AI. And people will
So
be, oh wow, it's done, it's super. I could, if
do
I
you
want,
think that what's the benefit? So right now we don't have any rankings other than like what me and BLs think, and we're idiots. So other than that, then getting AI, because I'm pretty sure Swift Hoops possibly uses AI, I'm pretty sure, but that's like a middle ground. And to me, that is far better a starting point than zero. What is
I would.
where do you
Mhm.
see the next step? How do you get it better? Like why
I
should this
don't.
be substantially better?
Well, I don't see you can rely on AI. It's just unfair. I'm sorry. If I'm a player and I go through my list, right, and I see, okay, here I have the games that are on YouTube, right? But let's say I have a list of games and only the results, and I see the games that I haven't played, or I see the games that has completely wrong uh, results. It's like how can the space can be credible when we
Wait, so what
like
do you
promote this kind of thing?
well, I think
My
that
work.
if the games are manually entered, each one, where do you see the fault? Like, where's the sticking point for you of why that shouldn't be trusted?
I mean, uh, if it depends, where do you get the data from?
Well,
Uh,
because I'm not even I'm not saying you're wrong. I guess for me, like I said, just a normie, a human, right? I just look at so if I look at Swift Hoops and I look at the top 10,
Oh, I'm not
I
saying that he did it like
oh
this,
no,
and
for sure. I'm just
I don't
using
want to throw any shade on anybody. I'm just saying, for me, when I'm looking at his statistics, or I don't want to even throw a shade. I'm sorry,
no,
I
and
don't
that's why
want. I don't.
this can be my
I
question. This can be my
but
question. Doesn't have to be from you. This is me trying to understand
yeah,
as a
I,
normal
I
person.
yeah, yeah.
When I look at his top 10, I don't I don't get a feeling of that's what the top 10 should be. But the reason I like the resource as a tool, it gives me like, why did this list come out with this? Because I don't agree with Zay at 5, Rob at 7, probably Bruce 6. Like there's a lot of things I'd have different, but at least it gives me like a starting point, and whatever the starting point is, at least that part is consistent for the other players. More so than I'll give you the human argument. So this is human. Let's go with
Mhm.
this, what I've seen, and then you can explain to me where yours is different than these two approaches. The human argument is Rob and Nas are 1A, 1B because Rob beat Zay and Zay beat Nas. And it's like, okay, but Zay or Rob just lost to DA. That should knock him down a bit. Nas didn't lose, so he should. And then Scoob has won all these games, and he stays here. Like, so the human argument to me is just like, okay, it's whatever you want it to be. This argument here gives me a starting point that gets rid of the human argument. At least it just gets rid of that. It gives me a starting point to at least start from. Here's their records. Here's who's played who. And it'll cancel out just some of the nonsense of the arguments, right? Where is your type of system? What problem does it solve?
I'm saying, can you rely on the data that you're looking at?
So the data that I'm looking at, so it has like win percentage, 77%.
Yeah, but
and it has
where the
wins
data come from?
From manually inputting.
Who did it? Like, and what's the source of this?
Just like the YouTube games and people inputting games. Like, so it's
Let me switch the presentation to the other screen. Okay, this is the system. Sorry for UI, but it's not publicly available. This is the system I built to mark the games.
Okay, and this would be like something you could sign up for, or is this something you would input?
No, this is mine. This is this is mine. This is like the games evaluator. And because one thing is you have the initial state, so you take the data from YouTube, right? But then you have to somehow maintain it. And this is how I maintain Hooperkings.com, right? So right now I have, I'm not sure if every channel is listed, right? But let's say there are about 10 channels here that I'm tracking right now.
Yep.
I manually marked 617 games and added 405 players. This is, I would say, 98% correct.
Okay.
If I'm looking at other systems and I'm seeing that somebody has like 600 games of free channels or 600 games from 50 channels, I'm asking myself, how did you get the data and how can I rely on those data? My way of thinking was that if you have the game on YouTube, this is the game.
Yeah. So the question you're asking is also the question I ask with both of the rankings also. At some point, there's a human element of how did you get that data, or what games are we counting, or how much are you weighting these games, right? For me, we don't have anything. Now, you've reached out to me. This one, Swift, has reached out to me. There's another one, Hoop Rec, I believe, and there's one more.
Yeah.
Four have reached out to me. And again, I don't have any investment in any of these. I saw all four of them as like, okay, here's people that see a problem. Mm-hmm. Here's people that have skills to start attacking this problem. And for me, I just go, I don't know. You guys sort it out. I'm good at the basketball stuff, the X's and O's. So, I probably see a lot of X's and O's problems where you're like, I don't know what he's saying. And then, but you kind of trust what I'm saying, and I may get some stuff wrong, but you kind of trust where I'm going because of my expertise. This is how I feel with these sites. And the problems you're asking and the questions you have are the same ones I have of, Swift Hoops. Like, there's going to be things that are right, things that are wrong, and people are bringing up very valid criticisms. But for me, I just go, okay, at least it's getting us one step closer to how rankings should look. And then I think yours is going to offer something completely different as well that can hopefully be an upgrade.
From my perspective, let them be like 20 different sites.
Yeah.
I'm a
I agree.
psycho fan.
I agree.
I don't do it for money. I spent probably like $1,500 already on promoting this thing to because I built it. I wanted it to people to use it, and I see the traffic on the page. So I hope somebody likes it at least. And
Yeah, I so far, like I said, I like it.
yeah,
I guess now for you, and this is where it doesn't need to be a knock on the other sites, but it's just what do you see as different? Like, why should I, as a person who doesn't know any different, like what do you see as being better on your site? Not
okay,
better, because again, I don't want it to be, it's not a competition, but it's like a collaborative,
yeah,
you have a
of
point of
course.
difference somewhere, you know?
So I'm going into direction that you will be able to see the best people from different channels or leagues.
And that's
And
not just the big three platforms,
no,
but
no,
like,
no, no, as much as possible. So
okay,
right now I have this system to maintain the data, and I can, as you see, I have a couple of steps. I have import videos, I analyze videos, and this is where I use AI.
okay,
So I analyze the metadata from YouTube, and based on that, I grade the videos what probability it is that it is 1v1 or it isn't, just to
okay,
unfilter all or not relevant videos. Then I match players because I have already a big database of players. I can usually I this is the most critical thing because for some videos I spent like 10 or 15 minutes to get to know who's playing. Like
yeah.
there's like please TNC the,
Just
just
put the name. Yes,
include
I
the
have the same
name
problem.
on the
I have the
like
same problem.
yeah it's so 15 minutes I'm trying to get the player's name from blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, TNC,
And-
OTD, Ball is
yeah,
Life. Anybody that's putting out a video, please, like, it will help the people that are going to
exactly.
make more content on your videos to label it cleanly for us. Like, you can put whatever in the
Yeah,
title, but in the descriptions, have somewhere where it says Zay versus Tay, and if it's their second
exactly.
matchup of the weekend, just be like game two. Just something like that would really help us
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And then I have a different problems. I have like I don't know 5 guys named Jordan
Yeah,
or something. Like how can I differentiate? It's
Dom,
sometimes even
it's
hard
so
to say
Dom.
when I'm watching the video. It's just the same guy, and I'm wasting like 15 minutes on one video trying to see who's the guy. I have a couple guys wrong. I know it. I'm sorry. I will try to clean this up. But yeah, then I import breakdowns as yours, guys. I can also. I'm happy to add any other people. I hope you're fine with it, but please link the original video in description. How can I
It
link
helps.
the
Yeah,
video with the yeah with
without the
the
original.
game? Yeah, and then I calculate elo and glyco actually, and then I also track the likes of the likes and
Okay.
uh,
Likes,
I mean
dislikes, views.
no. What video is most popular for each
Yeah,
channel? So then you can get into there and you can right away jump into the space knowing which like
most
watching
popular
the most
videos.
popular videos. Yeah. So
Okay.
if you're new in the space. Yeah,
So
so this is the process, and this is how I maintain it. And speaking of that, I also would like to say I'm going to make my database public, and
okay.
I really don't care how Hooprek, Swift Hoops,
Swift
right?
hoops.
Swift or any. I don't want to even know. Don't tell me or anybody how you get those data. I want everybody to use the real data that was there. You're the developers, probably like me. Take it, make a use of it, make a better system. I also know I won't maintain it for till the end of my life. I also have other obligations. I have family, things like that. I do it like after hour
Hobby.
so yeah, hobby project. So and one more thing, I really believe the leagues should have their own ranking system linked on their pages
I
eventually.
I think that's a great
I'm
idea.
I'm also happy to help if you need. I can do it for free. I don't want to earn any money based from basketball. I don't care. I do it as a passion. I'm a psycho fan. I love that. My only regret is that this haven't blown up 20 years ago when I could play.
Yeah.
This is the only regret. I really wanted to blow up globally. I really want this to be not only like I'm unsuccessful going to NBA, so I'll go to 1v1. I really hope for some people this will be the goal to get into.
Yeah.
Like, for example, my story is I never had space coordination. I think it's called like that, right? I never could play 5v5, but I think at least I'm probably delusional, but I think I was pretty good 1v1.
Got to be a little delusional. Got to be.
Yeah. So yeah, I would love to have it 20 years ago, and I hope with pushing
So
things into this direction, this will make it happen for others.
okay, so I like this system too. Like I said, for me, these are just tools that I can use as a commentator, and then hopefully leagues can use these as tools to do whatever it is they want to do. I do think accurate reporting, as accurate as possible. Obviously, I think it's super important, and I think one thing this space is lacking right now is, it's going to sound bad because everyone says it, but accountability, but like accuracy. Like we don't, it doesn't have to be perfect, but we should be close. We should be having similar conversations. And I think right now the conversations are just all over the place. So one of the things I've been trying to do is clean it up as much as possible with, when I do my rankings, I want it to be as unbiased as possible, which is impossible for a human, but I know where my biases are. But these tools, these types of websites help me look at like what if scenarios. Wait, what if we weighted it with this? What if it was weighted here? What if we looked at it just this last year? What if this? And you can click all those things very quickly and see some players are at the top regardless. So then when I go make a list, I'm like, I can't not have these four guys because they're at the top of the list no matter how you like which way you cut it. Let me go check another site. Wait, same thing on this site. Okay, these four there's probably some similar things here. So for me, it's another tool to get us closer to that sort of thing. So I guess one thing I thought, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, was the goal of this at some point to get other people, like new players, involved in the system?
You mean
like where people could, I guess, getting newer players to understand like what their ranking is globally, or was this more so just for the kind of the 1v1 space at the moment?
I mean, if there will be leagues, channels, tournaments globally, like in Philippines, let's say, right? Then in theory, if enough games would be played, you would be able to compare, like in chess, right? There's like people playing in China, people playing in Australia, people playing United States, in Poland. They never play that often between each other, but you can compare people. You go to chess.com, right? For example, right? And you can play the person from the other part of the world having a similar rankings, which probably means you're at the same level. But right now, I think we're not at that place yet, just because there's not enough games being played.
I agree. I think also like the games to 30, I think the more that platforms play similar styles makes it easier too. So if it's games to
Also,
30, one-on-ones, easy. Once it becomes king of the court or 2v1, games to 12, it's like, okay, now,
no.
we got to do a little bit more work with our rankings. But yeah, when the more people start playing similar ways too, it probably makes it far easier to input data and stuff.
Yeah, and you touched another point. How we do how we grade the 3v3 2v3 other formats, like, and how we put this into perspective of 1v1. It's another headache.
But again, this is, for me, this is good because I can see like where I just on a glance, I can already look at your list and just see like where things are drastically different than the other list. But for me, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. For me, it's like, okay, we're having better conversation now. Now we can start looking at which one more accurately tells the story that, the way we see it. And then again, this helps the lists, in my opinion, also get better. And this helps us start understanding what is it that we really value. Now when I'm looking at these lists, it's like, what is it that you really value? Because when you input one value, it changes it for everybody. So you think you might value it, but you're leaving out the victors. You think you value games played, but then victor's number 3, and you're like, wait, games played on big platform. It's like, okay, it's giving us more accurate words and details to tell us what we think. But then it also, like I said, it gives us those moments of seeing players that deserve probably to get some of those games now and opportunities on the bigger platforms.
Exactly. And but I also wanted to touch even more problems. Okay, here is let's touch a problem of Treycroft, for example.
Yeah.
So Treycroft is great. He's like, on this list he's with Elo number 6, right? But he has a break right now because he's playing overseas.
Yep.
Right? Can we punish him because he's going for his career and try playing 5v5?
My answer, yes and no. What's your answer?
Exactly. Yeah. So initially I said let's punish him because we're here for the 1v1 space. But then I went like, well, it's still the main priority, at least for now. This is and basketball, unlike chess, is so much different because you have only this 10-year window when you're at your peak.
Yeah.
With chess, you can basically be at the top till the end of your life. But our sport is different. Like, it's specific. Like, you have this 10-year window, and still the goal is 5v5, right? So, and the guy even is better when he comes back because he trained every day, had competition. So can I really punish Treycroft for not being here for half a year?
So what's the fix to it? What is your solution to it?
I decided for now to not, at least to not punish people. It would be different if somebody would be injured, like the Kel situation. Like I think he was injured, right, and he lost with Day, for example. I don't think he played long after he came back from the injury.
Yeah.
So so that way, probably we should put him into some transition period when you try to look at the ranking again. But then how can I differentiate who's injured, who's not? or somebody.
Or who's just deciding not to play, or contractually not getting to play. How does this? How does your problem solve for C4?
One more thing.
Yep.
I decided to have the active players that played at least one. I think right now it's at least one game last year.
Okay.
So, and then if he's not playing for a year, then he's not active, and he's just not a part of top 10 list.
Okay. Okay. So it'd be same. Well, what about the problem of like C4, who 5 games, I think?
Yeah. So I was really adjusting the parameters.
Scar. Scar's
so
another one.
Scar is tough, man.
So
because he
y'all
plays a lot.
You both have kind of the same problems. You're just going about solving them different ways, which I like. I think is needed.
Yeah, I think and that's why I decided to publish the database, because right now with AI, if you're a high school kid or if you're like a PhD in physics, it doesn't really matter. You can create your own website really quickly based on this data, and then you can have your own conclusion based on it.
Okay.
I'm just quite confident in my data, so I want. I to be honest, I really want, if somebody creates it, do your own perspective. Maybe you solve it even better than I did. I won't be able to maintain it forever. I'm a building block. And that's it. So just please don't make the data out from AI. That's it. So it's crazy with Scar. He's like, he has so many games, and like
good wins, bad losses.
Games. It's really tough.
You mentioned this. Some of this isn't a data problem or necessarily an input problem or a problem you can solve. Some of this is the space being so young that Scar is the only example. Scar and Day are the only 2 examples of like players that we feel like they should be ranked higher, but they're under 50%, let's say. But then you look at someone like a C4, who we definitely think he's a top 10 talent, but only 5 games. But then there's not another C4, so there's so many players that, because they don't have enough games, the only ones that are really comparable, obviously it's the Scoobs, the Nas, the Neskos, the Moons. Exactly. They're easy to put data around because they have a lot of games.
Well, take Nas, for example. Okay, he's the top guy, right? But most of his games are on his channel.
Yep.
Like, I understand why. You get the most revenue. I don't think to that degree, because I think Nas had a year when he only published on his channel games. I think I may be wrong, but it
because I think Scoob went on a tour and did the same thing.
Maybe
I could be wrong, but I thought he did.
Okay. Anyway, I remember I had a headache with Nas. What should I do? Because from one end, he was undefeated for a year. From the other hand, it's so easy to destroy the rankings by publishing only wins and not publishing the losses. And when you control the camera, control the narrative, even the rules, everything.
And that's kind of what I was saying, right? The more that people start playing by the same rules, the easier it gets. But also, people are going to hold each other accountable now. Like, if I just went and played Nas on his channel, and let's say I won and he didn't publish it, everyone's going to know that I won. because I'm letting everybody know. Whereas 5 years ago, it's probably is a lot of like he said, she said. It's so hard to go back and figure that stuff out.
And okay, let's say at the end of the day, I decided to include his games, and now he made it a platform, so it's the Blueprint League. But let's say you take the some person from that is maybe a little less known, from like top 30 or somewhere there, that wants to hijack the rankings a little bit, and then he puts on his channel next 5 wins with some unknown guys or whatever. Should I include him? Should I include those games because he posted on his channel? I don't know, but at least I have a database and I can decide.
Yeah. And this is the part where I think the problem solving, whatever list we come up with, I think is all going to come up with the same problems. And again, this is where I said, for me, this pushes the space forward, because now when Davo from OTD asks me like, oh, what should we do? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, games to 30. Because like the more games to 30 on this platform and this count. And then same thing for ABC crew. It's like, hey, should we play Rob in a 1v1 on this platform to 11? It's like, get that game to 30. The closer we can get these games to be close, more, it makes these decisions a lot easier. But the further we get from having those same rules, now we're kind of just like, I'll count these ones, but like the Frigmas games, that's been one of the biggest sticking points when people come to rankings. And I said, I don't even want to I'm not going to start my ranking from there. I'm going to start it from this data over here. Exactly what you've done. Start it with let's figure out what we do with that later at the end, and I think that's where the space is headed.
Yeah. And can I switch the screen? Yeah, I'll do it. Let's get rid of this ugly system. But I also think that this is so. What I'm really I don't like in the space is beef-driven marketing, or like people arguing too much. I think I really think the games are exciting enough.
But the basketball will take care of itself, is what I always say.
Exactly. Like people are really grinding, they're fighting, and talking as a fan, we're seeing that, and you don't need the fighting. I switch to UFC if I want to see fighting. We don't need to see so much beef online, beef outside of online, whatever, right?
And it'll naturally happen, and it's going to happen at times.
Of course.
And I think that's fine. But you're right. We're putting the focus on, we have to have the beef first, and then we'll figure out if the matchup makes sense. It's like, the basketball will take care of itself.
Exactly.
The rest will happen.
Let's focus more on basketball and on unity than on those beef marketing. I know it's maybe easier and faster to marketing with a beef, but this is also what drove me from NBA.
Yeah,
there was 1 year that I was only watching TNT overtime only. I wasn't watching top 10 highlights, anything anymore. I just wanted Chuck Kenny and Shaq roasting the current players. And then I was like, why am I even paying attention? I'm not even watching the games. So I stopped completely.
I think that's been one of my biggest not arguments, but one of my biggest, not even a complaint, but TNC has kind of made it their mission over the past couple weeks. I'm seeing in the Discord and the conversations, like they are focused on the entertainment. And I think it's great that they've identified that and they can say that, because where the line gets blurred is like the NBA, where it's like, no, this is the highest level basketball. This is the best. We're the best. And it's like Adam Silver's like, but we care about entertainment and money. I'm like, no, but just tell us what you're doing. And it makes it easier for the fan. So I like that TNC has done that. Like, we want it to be entertaining. We want it to be about the face-offs. You know, Shadell did a freaking diss track. It's like that they've said what they want it to be. But then I think there's a space for people like what you're saying is like, I just want to watch the games mainly. But also, if the beef happens naturally, if these things happen naturally, okay, yes, I'd skew more towards the basketball, a little bit of entertainment. And then there's some people that just want to watch the entertainment with a little bit of basketball. And I think now that both of these are happening, I think it's great. I just don't want to get stuck in this area where people don't know what is what. And I can never tell what's real basketball and what's just set up marketing garbage, you know, because it feels like it's wasting your time. So this has been my kind of biggest thing over the last couple of months as well. I just don't want to see it to go that NBA route.
Yeah, you need to have a balance between those two and really try to not cross the line. Like, I want to see basketball, not fight, right? Go to your face, but be a professional. Don't start anything, right? And I want to watch it with kids. Like, I'm sometimes even bothered with so much cursing around. Like, come on! I want to sit with my kid on the couch, I have a projector, watch it together.
I don't know if you'll ever get away from the cursing. I don't know if that day will ever happen.
I don't mind, but like, come on, sometimes it's not always needed, right? Balance it, right? Make it look good for different people, right? Let's not go only for people like that only, you know. I don't want to also
no, it's
throw anything.
It's the same. It's content creation, right? It's like knowing your audience. Don't try to. It's just like, don't try to one video appeal to this group and then this group and then this group and then this group. It's like you said, start from the same starting point. Focus on the basketball, and then the other stuff that happens around it. As long as the basketball is the main focus, like we're gonna end up in the same place. So, I'll have to go soon.
Okay.
Were there any points that you wanted to talk about or that we didn't cover?
I think I can look at my list. Okay. I may have one really quick point.
That's fine.
So not regarding even the rankings or directly the space, but so I was thinking, how can we progress as a space, and how we can work something out despite being like polarized between OTT, Ball Live, and TNC. And I was thinking, what can I do with the games that I'm tracking and how to update the system regularly. So I came with the idea. I can present it. Let's start with this one. I don't want to look so that it looks like a commercial or anything. And I'm not even saying I have to do it. I really can leave it to somebody else if you feel you can do it better or something. But I thought, as much as I'm talking with different people, many people follow top 10 plays just because they don't have time for playing the whole game. I have to admit, sometimes when I have a stretch of working on Hooperkings, I cannot keep up like.
I watch games every day, and I can't keep up anymore. There's just so many games now.
So I thought this this kind of thing can be like some kind of unification of different platforms. We can look at the games, and I even drafted recently because some of my friends. Okay, let's switch the the screen. Stop sharing. So some of my friends have interest in helping me doing it because I think there were 2 editions, and one of my friends said, well, the first 5 that you picked is better than the actual other top 5. So I was thinking how to solve this issue. So it's not published yet, but I was thinking
This is great.
If we can have a system when we can have the games from last week that were published last week, of course, not
Yep.
recorded, on YouTube, not on some pay-per-view platform or anything, just on YouTube. And then we can, like, let's say hope it works now. I'm sorry, it's and this is what you use AI also for, to develop some proof of concept.
Yep.
So let's say I'm watching, there's a play happening, I'm adding a timestamp, I'm submitting it, and then somebody else logs in and he can vote on it, right?
Yep.
Then after, before, let's say we put the deadline on Tuesday evening, and then I see the top plays that were voted in, and I can select the top 10 plays based on voting, right?
Yeah. This is awesome.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't know how to progress with it right now. It's a panel of a couple of my friends, but I'm happy
It's
to
just
publish
starting
it.
it. It's just
Sorry?
starting it, I think. Yeah, just starting it,
Yeah.
I think, is already a great start. And then slowly it'll get more people that probably want to be involved with doing that.
Yeah, I'm happy to work with anybody, and I'm happy to. There's so much thing to do in this software, like it has backend as well. I need to test it really well before I publish it, so it's not probably in 2 weeks. I need to switch, unfortunately, right now for 2 weeks to the other project I need to do. So I'll probably won't have time right now the next 2 weeks for this one. But this is I'll be publishing, of course, top 10, but only like this will be the maintenance mode.
Yep.
But yeah, this is the idea. Like if somebody
I think that's
wants
awesome.
to take it, I'm also fine. But I think if we can have the top 10 across the platforms, I was thinking maybe one platform can have like one person and they vote, and then
Yeah.
some kind of administrator puts the top 10. That would be perfect, maybe. I don't know. I'm just throwing it, and
Well, so
maybe
this,
it's fans.
yeah, honestly, I think give fans the ability, have the fans do it. They're going to get it wrong. They're going to mess some things up, but it's like,
I would be worried that top 10 would be like top 5, like first 5 would be TNC, second 5 would be OTD, and you will never see only buckets. Because
but
like
that's where I think if you do the fans and, like you said, have an admin, you know, a person that can see. And so if there's like 2 votes on an only buckets video, and then there's like 50 on a TNC video, it's like, well, if I'm an admin, if I'm the person deciding, I probably throw in one only buckets in there. And if there's like 3
I'm an
TNC, 3
admin. You
OTD,
see what I'm doing?
yeah, I'd probably just,
I can override the
yeah, I would do that. I would do fans, and then, because what's your goal? If your goal is to push the space forward in Unity, like you said, well, then it should be, if TNC has 10 top 10 plays, and then OTD has 11, 12, 13, 14. For me, I'd probably drop out those bottom 4 TNC, put in 4 OTD ones, sprinkle them around. Like, doesn't matter as long as the top 3 are the top 3. But then if there's like a only buckets play, and then there's another small platform, just different hoops, it's like I gotta get 2 of those smaller platforms on there. Whatever the best play from just different hoops was, whatever the best play was only buckets, y'all get to be in there this week. And, you know, I think that really brings unity to the platforms. It brings eyes to the platforms, but then it's also the fans of TNC. You're not just voting against everyone else. You better pick the top 10 TNC videos you like, because the ones that are most voted are the ones that those are getting pushed in there first. So I think this is great. I think this is brilliant.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll keep you posted when I'm done. And,
yeah, definitely let me know, because this is something that we've got a guy, Trees, now doing his magazine, and he's posting stuff pretty much every day, but he's going to do an article every month. We've got obviously Swift Hoops doing his stuff on his database, but you doing your stuff now. I'm trying to get groups of people together that want to do cool stuff, because there's so much stuff to be done, and I'm happy to have these conversations and facilitate, and like whatever you need done, I'm happy to use my reach and my platform to recruit people, to get people in. And because just like you, I just want to push the space forward. I could obviously go watch the most popular videos and just react to those, and I could get the most views. But for me, I really like reacting to the smaller platforms, or to players that I feel like need some more views, things like that. So it's like, there's more that can be done to keep pushing it forward than just doing what's going to benefit us individually. So I think we can do like a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah, together.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like I said, you ever have like any more ideas, definitely let me know. I'm doing this a lot more full time now, so I'll have more time to like have these conversations and put stuff out. Are you okay with me putting this video out?
Of course. Okay. I have like nothing to hide. I want really the others to have a place when they can prolong or have their careers. And like, as I said, the only thing I regret is it wasn't here 20 years ago. That's it.
Me too.
I can serve with my skill right now. I'm software developer. I'm also happy to bring other people on board. If there's any psychofan like me, message me or whatever. To be honest, my only regret with this system is I could really draw very little attention from people. Maybe I'm not a marketing guy, so I always thinking I'm a scammer when I message somebody.
Yeah.
And so it's really hard for me to do a marketing with this. But if anybody wants to join, to help, to throw ideas, I'm really happy to work with anybody, to be honest.
And that's how it got going for Swift in the Discord, you know. So for you, hopefully this is the same sort of thing of like, my skills aren't data, but my skills are like, what about this? Or what about this? I can ask a lot of questions. So then hopefully that brings someone else on who's like, wait, I got solutions to those problems. And then it can really take it that next step, like the exact things you need. Hopefully somebody else can provide that side of it too. So I'm definitely going to be pushing this forward as well. Definitely the more stuff we get like this, especially once you get that top 10 stuff going too. I've not even considered that. And I don't know if anyone else is talking about that, but that's something that will definitely bring a lot more positive excitement to the space, rather than, again, what's the drama, what's the negative stuff we can talk about. That will be there, and that's okay, but we just got to balance it out with some cool stuff that we can talk about too. So I think this is great.
Those plays are crazy. Like, wow.
Some of them we never get to see. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll have to leave right now.
Sure.
But yeah, anytime you want to have another conversation, send me a message. Like I'm always available, and got plenty more time now. So
thank you very much. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Yeah,
yeah,
thank you
of
so
course,
much.
man. This is awesome. I appreciate what you're doing, and I definitely
Thank
think
you.
this is gonna push some things forward.
And I really appreciate also your channel. To be honest, I'm sometimes waiting for your reaction done, or for your analysis done watching. Than I
A
watch
lot,
your videos.
a lot of people do that now.
Yeah,
So
I'm sorry,
I don't know if that's a
but
good thing or bad thing.
yeah. Anyway, yeah. Okay, with the top 10, I'm watching sometimes 5 times the same game, but
Yeah.
before that, it was only your analysis sometimes. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much again.
No problem, man. Take care. See ya.
Peace. Yeah, see you.